Well, let's get into this breakdown against the Ravens. I want to start off and we can talk about some of the mishaps that Twitter is going on with. I want to talk about firstly how dirty this Ravens team is. I hadn't watched a whole lot of their film or games. I shouldn't even say film. I didn't watch a lot of their games live this season. I watched bits and pieces as they came across Red Zone, most definitely, but I did not watch a whole lot of their games, but I did not know them to be this dirty. Is this something we should have known coming into the AFC Championship game?
It's the Ravens in the playoffs. Like, what else did you expect? That's Baltimore to its finest.
Dirty
Whites on
city, dirty
brightest, they get
players.
dirty.
I think having Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs come out, they tried to embody the old spirit of the old Baltimore Ravens defense, and probably got a little ahead of themselves.
A
But
little.
it really boils down to the attitude that they had coming into this game, because you listen to that Zay Flowers interview when he was asked about the penalties leaning one way or the other. And he's like, "Yeah, we knew that was going to happen, so we thought we could play through it." Like, if you come into the game with that type of mindset, like, yeah, the refs are going to be on their
You've
side, but we're
already
going to play
lost.
through it. You have already lost, absolutely, 100%. It's a pathetic response in my opinion, especially coming from a guy that damn near cost them the fucking game.
No, he definitely
In about
messed
20
up
game
big
seconds.
time.
20 game seconds.
And
I,
honestly,
I thought that was dumb.
I there's a whole rant we can go on as far as penalties and no calls and all this shit, but there's a lot of Ravens fans accusing Travis Kelce specifically and the rest of our team of taunting the whole game. But there is a clear difference between what Zay Flowers did on that play and the rest of what Travis Kelce was doing throughout the entire game. Just doing this and signaling that I got a first down, that's normal. That happens all the time in the NFL. That typically does not get flagged for taunting. But
It will if you're looking in a player's face. If I'm looking at you and I'm going first down in your face, that'll get called every time. Travis doesn't do that. He gets you're right
you look at the
here,
tape, that
he's
happened at
right
least
here, and
once or
he
twice.
goes.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you right now, Travis Kelce did that in a couple players' faces.
He was just
However,
looking
But
above them.
he looks away from them is the thing. If he's looking at them, he's getting flagged for it every time. He doesn't look at you, and that's how you can avoid the flag.
the main difference is he didn't actually come into contact with another Ravens player. Zay Flowers on that taunting penalty pressed L'Jarius Sneed's shoulder pad back into the ground, spun the ball right next to him, and stood over him. Okay? If you look at the history of taunting calls, that shit gets called all the time. You're a rookie in the postseason, you fucked up, okay? And that doesn't even explain the cardinal fucking sin that you committed in the red zone just a little bit later. Because if he goes down right in front of that goal line and doesn't extend that ball, they have a fresh 4 set of downs.
Karma
Real McCole
for doing that to
Hardman.
LJ.
He was a little too eager. He didn't understand the situation. He didn't understand that when you got extra plays to call, you don't extend that ball out there because of exactly what happened. And Ravens fans, if you can't accept that, if you think the NFL is scripted because of the penalties leaning one way, you're fucking delusional, and it's a really sad existence that you live.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even mind, and I don't think the refs were going to call it. You know, you talked about the Zay Flowers pushing LJ's shoulder back into the ground. I think the refs saw it, and you can obviously see it in the film. Legarius was still hanging on to the ankle of Zay, which is why he pushed him into the ground. I think the refs saw that, and they weren't going to call any penalty because of both sides of gamesmanship. But when he spun the ball and then stood over him and flexed, that's where it got taken to a different level. But if you're thinking that the calls were, I'm with you. If you think that the game is scripted because of the calls, it was 17-7, and there were 3 penalties called on each team. You then had 5 personal foul penalties called, and you also turned the ball over
You can't
3
script that
separate
shit.
occasions.
They
If
they
that is
clearly let their
scripted,
emotions get the best of them.
if that's scripted, then you also have to be mad at Roquan Smith for his personal foul. You you also have to be mad at Zay Flowers for fumbling and the personal foul. You have to also be mad at Lamar for fumbling the ball and throwing it into triple coverage for another turnover. That means that not only were the refs in on it, but your star quarterback that you just paid $200+ million to, a rookie, and a guy that you traded for and gave a bunch of money to are all in on the script. Oh,
Oh, they got some NFL hush money on the side. But on the same topic of penalties, there's 2 big no calls that I also want to address that I feel like Ravens fans have been hammering on social media. Number one is the no call on Isaiah Likely. Um, I think the New York analyst, it was either I think it's Gene's territory. It could have been somebody else. Maybe it was Terry McCauley. I forget who the hell was calling our game. As far as the NFL analyst or the New York analyst, but he was saying that it could have been construed as a holding call, but when you look at it, there's abrupt contact. I don't necessarily. There's no jersey grabbing. There's no like hip hook. There's nothing that really like our DB did to hold Isaiah Likely back from finishing his route. There was some contact made on a ball that was uncatchable. You can't call pass interference on a ball that's thrown uncatchable. So it the call could have gone either way. Another official another officiating crew could have called defensive holding on that play, but do I think that call really determines the ending of the game? No. The other no call is Joshua Williams on Odell Beckham Jr. on the streak down the sideline. They're both hand fighting. Okay, Josh Williams kind of looks like he might have hooked Odell Beckham's arm a couple of times on that route, but that's a no call all day in the NFL. The regular hand fighting between a wide receiver and a DB does not get called as pass interference or holding on a day-to-day basis in the NFL. Like you're really reaching there if you want to say that that's a blatant no call. And I think Ravens fans are obviously just a little pissy because they lost this game, but pointing to that as one of the reasons why they lost this game is absolutely just no class, fucking trashy fan football.
Well, they're just being this way because they lost the game in the very first quarter. They start the game off with a 3-and-out, and then we come down. Patrick doesn't miss a single pass. It was an amazing throw to Travis Kelce, catches it in the end zone. Like, game was over at that very moment. We all knew it. They knew it.
Travis goes
They
11 for 11. Like they lost it the minute the game kicked off.
they abandoned their whole entire game plan right after that 3-and-out. Didn't even run it at all anymore. Why would you run it with the team that isn't the good against a run? I don't know, but that's what the Ravens did. And they tried making Lamar the superhero like he thinks he is, but he just can't prove it in the playoffs right now.
I
And
called it too.
even before that, the whole Justin Tucker fiasco at the beginning of the game, right? His interview later, he's trying to sound all innocent and whatnot. He says he does this at every fucking game. He's got his little uh place kicker holder thing, the little tripod
On the goal
down
line.
at our end of the fucking end zone. And even the commentators that are talking about the situation, like I don't see a kicker trying 10-yard field goals at the opponent's end zone when they warm
Never.
up. So I don't know what other games you tried to do this on, but like if you get in the way of the other team warming up, you fucking deserve your shit to get thrown. And that's about the point that they fucking lost this game.
That's true. Yeah, and if you look back at that video, you can actually see Butker's down on the Raven side, but he's like on the 30 or 40-yard line, kicking field goals to not mess up anybody in that end zone. And I don't know if you guys heard it. I listened to it as I was driving home from work, and they've got the interview up on 610's Twitter. You can go listen to it. Patrick Mahomes did his weekly Tuesday interview with Carrington Harrison on 610 Sports Radio, Kansas City. He said, Patrick said that he's only ever had this same exact issue happen 3 times, and he said it was a little bit of gamesmanship. He was chit chatting with Justin Tucker. Justin moved his stuff over about 2 inches to really mess with Pat, see if he could get in his head. He was going to leave it, and then Travis got tired of it and started throwing his shit everywhere. But Pat said he's dealt with this specific issue on 3 separate occasions. Every single time it happened against Baltimore, specifically Justin Tucker. So this isn't the first time that this has been an issue. He's going to act all innocent as humanly possible. I think it was a lot of gamesmanship. It probably wasn't that big of an issue, but at the same time, like that's the attitude that you went in with, was trying to ruffle feathers, and that's what's going to happen to you when you're a
Backfired,
young,
baby.
inexperienced team who doesn't know what you're doing, and you're fraudulent. We talked about all the statistics in the preview show. You're 22nd in pressure. Your defense. You're the number one in DVOA. You're the number one in sacks, but you're only 22nd in pressures, which means that your DBs are really good, except they can't even cover MVS. That's not that hard. Sean could do it.
No, no, I can't.
Air does it.
That
Air does it.
man, that
That
man
man drops the ball all
is
the
a
time.
playoff
Air covers him.
playmaker. Not regular season, just playoff playmaker.
Sean can't keep up with anybody in the NFL. Sean
Yeah.
runs a 5.540.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, are we
I can
gonna
lock
have to
your
get
ass
together
down.
and do a?
Lock my ass down.
I can lock your ass down
Uh-oh.
all day of the week.
Press me, please. Your hands are gonna get fucking cut off.
I would love to see that happen.
I think we need to have some drills. I think we need to meet up and do some drills.
I would toast Sean's ass. I don't even care if he's taller than me. I would absolutely toast Sean's ass.
I would love to see that happen.
I
He's
got
so
the
good.
hands.
It will
bro.
never happen,
fucking...
Tybo. It will never happen.
Oh my god.
Oh,
This is
big talk.
You think I'm slow? Have you seen Tybo run?
This is gonna be another event like the Tybo wrestling match. I will absolutely I will back this shit talk up. Don't get me wrong, I'm coming for round 2 with Ty Bob. Okay, I'm getting into fucking shape. But I don't even need to be in shape to toast Sean, I promise you.
I'm going to be seeing you very soon, so I'm going to be making sure we don't have a quarterback, though.
Ty Bob's our quarterback. We got it.
We all got to be in the same place then, and can you trust Ty Bob as a quarterback?
For a drill, yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
And honestly,
I don't want to hear any excuses.
It doesn't even matter if he gets the ball to me. It matters. It's going to show with the amount of separation I get. Okay, like
I'll give you all the separation you need. I'm going to just moss that shit from you.
Please press me.
I'm going to put you on your ass.
Okay. We're off topic here, guys. We are way.
I can't wait to see this. I don't know what else we can say about this game. We kind of hit on the big pieces. Like the penalties weren't really a big factor. We stuck to our game plan, and what's sad is the Ravens did not. They were only down. They only lost by 2 scores. We didn't score in the second half. Their defense did exactly
one score.
One score. Their defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. We didn't score a single point in the second half. What did their offense do? You drop back 50 plus times with Lamar Jackson. He has proven to you time and time and time again that he is not a passing quarterback if there is no run game. Why are you not designing runs? Why are you asking him to sit in the pocket instead of use his first instinct to gain yardage? He had all day to throw. We only went 4 after him and just did contain the entire time. Make a break outside the pocket and
Well,
run. Todd
and
Monken, you do not deserve to be an offensive coordinator or a head coach anymore in this league with the atrocities that you just created with Lamar Jackson at quarterback.
dude, I think one single game where they have made that mistake is a little harsh to say Todd Monken deserves to be fired. But what was the stat? The outside of Lamar, they only had six uh
Six
carries to
rushes. Yeah.
running backs. So
That's where the problem starts in the first place. You're
exactly.
not giving the ball to the running back. Lamar should have decided in his own self that he could have broken those out and ran for it, but he wants to prove to people that he is a passing quarterback still as well. And what better time to do it than the AFC Championship, Lamar?
I
What
mean,
better
that's
time?
the job of the offensive coordinator to sit there and go, hey, you're not playing the way that you like, get them into shape. Say, Lamar, you're not playing to your skill set. Let's stop looking downfield the entire time and let's start playing off of instinct. If it's not open, you go.
Now he probably did tell him that, but guess what? Lamar just didn't translate it to the field.
No, there's no way. I can't believe that. I can't sit here and believe that. There's no
Or
way that
or maybe the
instinctual
Chiefs
player was
defense
that good.
is just that good because Drew Tranquil, I think he deserves a player of the game shout out right there. That man played incredible. He had 8 solo tackles and stopped the run a lot of times. He had a fantastic day out there.
Yeah, yeah. I won't. They had 5.1 yards per carry on 16 carries. I can't agree with that.
Well, I mean, a lot of those were from
Gus
the big
Edwards,
rushes from Lamar, were they
Gus
not?
Edwards had 3 carries for 20 yards, 6.7 yards per carry. This is a Todd Monken disaster class. That's you got away from your game plan. You didn't speak to your quarterback and let him know that he needed to play off of his normal. You tried to let him go out there and play hero ball, except it wasn't his version of hero ball. If I'm John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, you're out.
No, not after 1 year. You're not even putting into a context that Spags called this whole entire game. The Ravens played exactly what into Spags' idea of what was going to happen. That
I
threw them
don't
off the whole
disagree with
entire
you
time.
that the Chiefs
And
defense is that good.
at the
They
same
you
time,
just
if we
don't go
want to
away from
say
your
that the
game.
Ravens lost this game because of inexperience, like how do you build the experience if you don't keep that fucking group together? Todd Monken had a great game plan for the regular season, and in this one game, he shit the bed. I do not think that's a reason to let him go.
He's going to
I,
learn from this.
exactly.
He'll be fine. He'll be back again next year. Maybe not in the same
No,
championship
he'll
round,
be
but
back. He'll be back. This is his first year there. He's been around in the league for a long time. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's got some experience. He's been around. He knows what he's doing. You gotta game plan better. When the game plan goes awry, you've got to be able to speak to your players.
Well, and just like we thought the players on the Baltimore Ravens let their emotions get to them, I think Todd Monken the emotions let him get out of his game plan, and he thought he needed to pass the ball to get uh, back in or gain the lead or whatever in this game, and it truly backfired against him.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of that probably falls on John Harbaugh too. Like you want to talk about a guy who's experienced, he's got himself a Super Bowl ring. You got to at some point you got to be the head coach and rein in everyone.
Gotta
And
take the lead.
that wasn't something that he showed that he did. And he may be just a special teams guy, but he's been a head coach in the league long enough. You got to lead. You got to rein everyone in. And maybe he did that on the defensive side. Obviously, it showed again Kansas City not scoring in the second half. Um, but you didn't do it where your star player is, the guy that you paid $200+ million to. Ravens are
Ravens.
fraudulent either way. They're very much like the
Not
Eagles.
not contenders. Eagles lost first round, guy. Eagles lost before the divisional round, buddy.
They ran up against a better team, Tampa.
Okay.
If Baltimore plays Tampa, I don't know if they make it through.
Oh my god.
What? This dude. We're gonna bring it all back around because we need to talk about this dude
I
some
hope
more.
I hope someone
This
just
guy-
mentions that in the comments. Like
This guy,
fucking idiot.
throughout the whole entire year, was claiming the Chiefs would not make the Super Bowl.
One
The
and
moment
done.
the playoffs come around, oh, I'm picking Chiefs over and over again. He is a
He
fair
truly,
weather
he truly
fan.
should not be in the running for our pick'em because he
The
adamantly
last 2
thought,
weeks.
he
don't
adamantly
count.
thought the Chiefs were not going to make the Super Bowl, and then backtracks on that shit and picks the Chiefs in the playoffs just to cover his ass. But yeah, he's not a true fan.
Boo this man. Boo.
I'm wearing my KC. Oh, there's only 3 of us in here, and one of us isn't wearing KC gear today.
Oh, big deal. Big
Fake
deal.
fan
I
Sean.
did.
Fake fan Sean.
I wore all my Chiefs stuff for the
Boo this
game.
man.
It's dirty,
Damn,
okay?
you only
Listen,
have enough
I was
Chiefs
wrong.
game. You only have enough Chiefs gear to like last one day, and then you got to wash them.
It was Red Friday. Then I had to go out in town on Saturday.
He's got
it's
2 shirts.
all week. I was getting ready for it.
He's got a weekend's worth of Chiefs gear.
There's layers on, okay? Plenty of layers.
Yeah, no, hey, I will happily be wrong if this is how it ends up every time. If it takes me picking against the Chiefs every single week and saying we're going to be one and done and we're not even going to make the playoffs for us to make a Super Bowl, I'll be that sacrificial lamb.
Does that make you feel good being that sacrificial lamb?
You know
Because
what?
if you were
I
like
feel
me or
like-
Tybo, if you're like me or Tybo, you'd be like a regular fan, diehard fan, and know we're gonna make it anyways.
Well, that's not true. See, you and everybody else in all the group chats that I'm in have somehow, and not just all of Twitter as well, have somehow turned fandom into dick riding. Being a fan is short for fanatic, somebody who's crazy about the team, watches all the time, buys all the gear, does all these things, but you can also be very
and
critical
believes in their team.
That's called dick riding.
Year
Tybo.
in and year out, believes in their team and their squad.
So you believed when we had Tyler Thigpen or Tyler Palco that we were winning the Super Bowl?
No.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up. But I'll
How
tell
can
you
you
what.
not
After
believe
this
whenever you
year,
have Patrick Mahomes on your team, though?
after this,
Yeah, that's
after
the
this
point
year,
here.
I'll never doubt again.
No, shut up. You
Promise that.
stay how you are. You stay exactly how
Don't
you are.
you change?
You
Don't you
Bills fan.
change?
Don't you change, you Bills fan.
Oh man, I'm excited. We've got a long week plus ahead of us. Little over a week. As all the media floods into Vegas, starts doing all the interviews, the interview processes. We start getting all of the ending sponsorships of players as they go on radio shows and do their sponsored segments. This really is the worst time of sports media of like of the NFL. This is not a fun time up until like there's too many questions, not enough focus on the game or just letting the players be players. And then there's just too many sponsored segments of interviewing players for 4 seconds. And then they do 4 minutes of an Old Spice ad on your radio show. This really is just the worst time.
Well, they're trying to get it all in before you don't have football for a few months. So
I know why they're doing it. It's just not fun to listen to.
you don't have to listen to it. Problem solved
They
right
have
there.
nothing else to listen to. It's fair enough. We've got some content that'll be coming out through the rest of the week up until our preview next week. So make sure to stay tuned in. A lot of fun stuff coming your way. But until next time, go Chiefs.
Go
Oh,
Chiefs.
Chiefs, we're going to win number 4, baby. The franchise, the Chiefs, baby. Super Bowl champs.